Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. We're going a bit generic brand on this because, I don't know, fuck it, man. Consumer assistance product stuff. Yes. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? Well, it happens to be, boom, my Steel Dawn shirt starring the ever awesome and sadly missed Patrick Swayze. If you've never seen the movie Steel Dawn, which is entirely possible, it's very much a cult classic movie, in my opinion. It is a fairly early work from Patrick Swayze, not like his first or anything, but it was almost in some ways kind of like, you know, a little bit of a Roadhouse sort of adjacent type of thing. Not in the story aspect, but in the ass-kicking aspect. It's a really cool sort of post-apocalyptic martial arts kind of thing. Almost has quasi-Highlander vibes, but no like real mysticism or anything. Just basically Patrick Swayze with a sword kicking ass out in the middle of the desert. It's an awesome fucking movie that I personally think way more people should know about. Like, this is one of those movies where if they decided like, hey, we're going to play this in theaters, you know, every couple years or some shit, I would go every year. Because I love this movie. And thankfully, it is available on Blu-ray now, and I think like streaming services, I don't follow streaming services. I buy stuff, so. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? Why is it generic brand? What are we doing here? Boom! Oh God, it's this. What is this? This is Great Value Lemon Lime Sport Hydration Beverage. It's Walmart Gatorade. Walmart has just decided, like, I don't know how long this has been around, but Walmart has just decided they're just going after everybody. They're going to go at everything. I've reviewed candy bars that they've come out with that were obviously knockoffs of like name brand stuff. And I guess they're just getting into it with Gatorade now. So, first of all, let's get a thing for the thing. Maybe it'll be a little bit better over here. I think it'll do. Ha 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 ha! So yeah, it's the Great Value brand, which is the Walmart in-house brand. And I saw this and I figured, fuck it, man. I like Gatorade. That was my whole thought process. And I'm a big fan of Lemon Lime Gatorade in particular, so it'll be interesting to see how the generic brand holds up. I think it was like for an 8-pack, I think it was like a little over $5, which ain't fucking bad, folks. Now it just needs to taste good, too. Because if it's good, you know, if it's cheap, but it sucks, Smells kind of like Lemon Lime Gatorade, but it doesn't have the strength of scent. Okay, it's not bad. It's definitely one of those things where it's trying very deliberately to taste like Lemon Lime Gatorade. It is, because sometimes like they'll have like, again, their own generic versions of stuff, but like really when you taste it, it tastes really far off from whatever it is that, you know, they're kind of bilking the reputation of. And this is one of those things where it's like, that's not the case. They were definitely trying to hit that Lemon Lime Gatorade flavor. They mostly succeed, but for one, I think it's a little bit weaker than the classic Lemon Lime Gatorade. And then there's also a little bit of an aftertaste that I'm not thrilled with. It's not bad, but it's present and it's there, you know. But otherwise, it's not bad. Yeah, it just... The biggest difference is it doesn't have the same strength of flavor. The flavor itself is definitely very similar, though, to Lemon Lime Gatorade. Not 1-to-1, but like, you know, like 0.8 to 1. That's about how close it is. If I didn't know otherwise, and you just gave it to me in a Gatorade bottle, I would just think it was a Gatorade that had sat out for a while. That's about the difference, but it definitely has a very similar lemon lime flavor to lemon lime Gatorade. But it just, when you drink it, it hits you, you get that lemon lime rush, and then it really quickly drops off. So it's a little bit thinner than the proper stuff, but it's not bad, like at all. What with it being a lemon lime, it's got some sweetness, it's got a little tanginess that kind of dances on the tongue a bit. That I actually think is probably the nicest aspect, because it's definitely it's the longest lasting aspect of the flavor. Like I said, it really just kind of holds there for a bit, even after the rest of it is kind of faded out. And even as for like the aftertaste, it's not like a chemically taste or anything. It's almost like a lacking taste, It's like, compared to the Gatorade, because I know what that tastes like, and this is trying to emulate that, I know what the flavor is supposed to be when it gets to that point, and instead it's like, I don't know, almost like a very mild, almost bitterness to it, instead of like that proper kind of Gatorade tanginess. But yeah. And I really do think it's basically just an extension of the tanginess. I just don't think that it has the same type of bite as like the Gatorade does. But I mean, it's honestly not bad. Like, I kind of came into this being like, yeah, because it can be very hit or miss with the grade value stuff. But I don't, again, it definitely does taste like a somewhat cheaper Gatorade. But at the end of the day, I mean, Powerade's been around for fucking ever now, and that's basically cheaper Gatorade. You got vitamin water and all that shit. This is another option for you. Two questions have to be asked, though. Would I get it again, and would I recommend it? I'm going to go with sure and sure. Like, now here's the thing. I don't drink nearly as much Gatorade as I used to. For like about 2 years, like, it was pretty much my go-to drink of choice. But then I started becoming a little bit more health conscious, and I was one of those people who's very much under the, the understanding of, oh, it's a sports drink, it's a, and you think it's kind of quasi-healthy because, of course, associated with, like, athletes and stuff. The reality is it's not. Like, it's loaded with sugar. I mean, how much sugar is in this? This has 33 grams of sugar, plus 66% added sugar. Jesus. So yeah, this thing is loaded to the brim with sugar. So this is not something I would get with any regularity. It's just, but it is one of those things, if I wanted some Gatorade but I didn't want to pay the price, because that really is what this comes down to. It's not just does it taste good, because overall, yeah, it does taste pretty good. It's a decent lemon lime tasting sports drink. There's genuinely nothing too bad or too great about it, but it works. What we're really trying to figure out here is, does it work next to Gatorade? Is it like a comparable? 1-to-1 again, no, but I do think it's close enough that if you want to go over there and save yourself $1 here or there, or in this case, probably a fair amount of bucks, because again, you're talking about an 8-pack for about $5 or so, 5 or 6. That's not too bad. I think if you're already grabbing some of that stuff anyway, and I think for me, that's kind of where it comes into play. Is like, I'm not going to do it with any regularity, but every now and again, it's nice to have, just some sports drinks in the house. Especially like if it gets warmer or something like that, if I'm going to be mowing the lawn and shit. Yeah. And if I'm recommending it, like I said, it's basically just, is Gatorade better? Yes. Is this actually pretty good in comparison and for the cost? Yeah. I will say this, please don't be like me, where again, you're working off this assumption that like it's this thing that, it's like, oh, it's for athletes and stuff. Blah, 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 blah. Don't use it in that capacity. Little extra hydration or whatever, like I said, for a hot day, it's kind of a nice treat. Treat it like that, because otherwise it's almost soda. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your folks. Go over there, have yourselves a truly lemon lime Gatorade-tastic rest of your life. Because, I mean, that's the OG Gatorade. That's the Gatorade. It's the one that I grew up on as a kid. And then, of course, then you had your eventual flavors and stuff like that. Just saying. I just got done reviewing a couple weeks ago 7-Eleven exclusive flavor of Gatorade called Midnight Ice. Go watch that review. Final two things. Number one, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in a situation where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, maybe you're going to go over there, maybe you like it. Hey, look, ain't nothing wrong with looking for a deal. Maybe you're a big fan of like generic brands or whatever. That's perfectly fine. I want to toss that out there right now. I am never going to go over there and try to shit on somebody for saving a few bucks. Probably, no, not even probably. It absolutely is something that I realistically need to be better at myself. I've had to get more thrifty as I've gotten older. But what's your take on this stuff? Is it something that you're, perfectly fine with? Do you just pretty much stick to the name brand stuff? You just don't want to fuck with it? If I ever get like a Sam's Club card or whatever, how the fuck you do the membership, I guess, I could go over there and try out some of their stuff. But just not willing to go through that extra rigmarole at the moment. But hey, what's your opinion on Sam's Club? Is it worth it? I mean, lots of people shop there. It's got to be